Good day to everyone. Today, we will discuss about the topic research instrument, field or observation notes. So before we start our discussion, let me introduce to you myself. My name is Angelica and Mangaba from BSED English Block B, and I will be the presenters for today's discussion together with my partner, Miss Elora Marasigan. So our objectives is to define research instrument. Second, to discuss the purpose of the research instrument, specifically the field or observation notes. And last, to recognize the important role of research instrument to the research project. What is research instrument? So a research instrument is a tool used to collect, measure, and analyze data related to your research interest. These tools are the most commonly used in the health sciences, social sciences, and education to assess patients, clients, students, teachers, staff, etc. A research instrument can include interviews, tests, surveys, or checklists. And also, it is usually determined by researcher and is tied to the study methodology. The following are the characteristics of a good research instrument. First, valid and reliable. Second, based on a conceptual framework or the researcher's understanding of how the particular variables in the study connect with each other. Third, must gather data suitable for and relevant to the research topic. Fourth, able to test hypotheses and or answer proposed research questions under investigation. Fifth, free of bias and appropriate for the context, culture, and diversity of the study site. And last, contains clear and definite instructions to use the instrument. So let's move on with the field notes. Field notes are widely recommended in qualitative research as a means of documenting needed contextual information with growing use of data sharing, secondary analysis, and meta-synthesis. Field notes ensure rich context persists beyond the original research team. However, while widely regarded as essential, there is not a guide to field note collection within the literature to guide researchers. Using the qualitative literature and previous research experience, we provide a concise guide to collection, incorporation, and dissemination of field notes. The researcher collected field notes since he obliged to record students' comments, questions, and also their attitudes towards the implementation of scanning technique in reading comprehension activities. The researchers recorded what he heard, saw, experienced, and thought in the course of collecting and reflecting on the data of the implementation of scanning technique. Therefore, the researcher implemented field notes to answer the second and third problems. There are some functions of field notes, and the following are included into it. First, descriptions. You write them as a notes and details of time, date, activities, settings, observations, behavior, and conversations in the field. Second, interpretation. They allow you to examine value-laden and subjective aspects of fieldwork. As you write your field notes, in a different section distinct from the descriptive narratives, write your interpretation of what you encounter in the field. Explain what you observe and ruminate on why your observations are relevant and important. So it is answer the so what question. And the last was the reflections. This includes an introspective commentary of what you observed and experienced, and what all this means to you. According to Thomas Schwann, reflective information includes recording of your thoughts, ideas, questions, and concerns as you conducting the observations. Characteristics of field notes. Be organized. Taking accurate notes while you are actively observing can be difficult. It is therefore important that you plan ahead how you will document your observation study. Be descriptive. Use descriptive words to document what you observe. For example, instead of noting that the classroom appears comfortable, state that the classroom includes soft lighting and cushioned chairs that can be moved around by the study participants. Being descriptive means supplying yourself with enough factual evidence that you don't end up making assumptions about what you meant when you write the final report. Focus on the research problem. Since it's impossible to document everything you observe, include the greatest detail about the aspects of the research problem and the theoretical constructs underpinning your research. Avoid cluttering your notes with irrelevant information. Record insights and thoughts. As you observe, be thinking about the underlying meaning of what you observe and record your thoughts and ideas accordingly. This will help if you to ask questions or seek clarification from participants after the observation.
Hello everyone, I am Elora Marasigan from the said Black Pea, and I want to share to you about the observation note. What is observation note? Observation is one of the most important research tools in the social and human sciences, having a vital role to play in helping to understand and interpret the social, cultural, and economic environment. And our research benefits from the observation, which entails use of senses to collect data from the constraint of personal values in order to observe the facts as it is. While doing observation, we must go behind the surface and penetrate the depth. Writing notes during observation sessions help the most out of what research activity, making sure to capture insight as well as data concerning what's happening around and how many times an action is repeated, how long it takes, steps covered, etc. Preparing as dedicated support such as printed grid or notebook with specific investigations areas to fill during the session could be valuable to guide the researcher by suggesting data points to capture and so avoid to forget any important aspects. And we have two examples, the structured and controlled. It is characterized by a careful definition of units to be observed, the style of recording the information, standardized condition of observation, and selection of finite data of observation. Next is unstructured or uncontrolled, when observation is to take place without above-mentioned characteristic is called unstructured observation. Next is participant. It is the observer by making himself more or less a member of the group he observing so that he can experience what members of the group experience. Next is non-participant, when observer observe as a detached emissary without any attempt on his part to experience through participants what other feels and called non-participants. And these are the effective notes. So these are the samples of effective notes. Use factual objective terms. Write what you saw, not what you are thinking about what you are saw. Next is can you stand alone? Someone who has not present should be able to read your notes and figure out what happened. Focus on interactions. Contain specific codes you have trouble recalling codes after observation. So paraphrasing is fine. Describe the setting, material used, and what can be seen in the space. And here are the less effective notes. Use subjective terms such as, for example, the kids were having fun or she was upset. State opinions I thought really improved today. Make assumption about internal stage such as she saw, was bored and didn't care, are the bagu or lap details such as the youth did in a group activity. Summarize discussion instead of using direct quotes, they talk about the fart, and so on.